Chapter 16. Light. What makes things visible? We are not able to see in dark. It is only when light coming from an object enters our eyes that we see that object. Light enables us to see things from which it comes or from which it is reflected. Luminous objects and non-luminous objects. The objects which emit their own light are called luminous objects. The sun, lighted electric bulb, and torch are all luminous objects. The objects which do not emit their own light are called non-luminous objects. The moon, table, plants, and diamond are some of the examples of non-luminous objects. The non-luminous objects are also called illuminated objects. Reflection of light. The process of sending back light rays which fall on the surface of an object is called reflection of light. The ray of light which falls on the mirror surface is called incident ray. The ray of light AO coming from the ray box falls on the mirror surface, therefore AO is the incident ray. The point at which the incident ray strikes the mirror is called the point of incidence. The incident ray AO strikes the mirror or touches the mirror at point O, therefore O is the point of incidence. The ray of light which is sent back by the mirror is called the reflected ray. The ray of light OB is sent back by mirror, therefore OB is the reflected ray. The normal is a line drawn at right angles to the mirror surface at the point of incidence. The dotted line ON is the normal to mirror surface MM- at the point of incidence O. The angle between incident ray and normal is called the angle of incidence. The incident ray is AO and NO is the normal. So the angle AON is the angle of incidence. The angle between reflected ray and normal is called the angle of reflection. The reflected ray is OB and the normal is NO. So the angle BON is the angle of reflection. Laws of reflection of light. According to the first law of reflection, the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. The incident ray AO, the reflected ray OB, and the normal ON all lie in the same plane, the plane of paper. According to the second law of reflection, the angle of reflection is always equal to the angle of incidence. If the angle of incidence is I and the angle of reflection is R, then angle I is equal to angle R. Regular reflection and diffuse reflection of light. Regular reflection of light occurs from smooth surfaces, like that of a plane mirror, or highly polished metal surfaces. Thus a plane mirror produces regular reflection of light. In diffused reflection, a parallel beam of incident light is reflected in different directions. The diffused reflection of light takes place from rough surfaces like that of paper, chair, and unpolished metal objects. Formation of image in a plane mirror. When an object is placed in front of a plane mirror, its image is formed in the plane mirror. Suppose a small object O, say a pinhead, is placed in front of a plane mirror MM-, an image of this pointed object will be formed in the plane mirror. 1. We take two diverging rays OA and OB from the object O. The rays OA and OB are incident rays which strike the mirror at points A and B, making different angles of incidence. 2. The first incident ray OA is reflected by the mirror at point A and goes in the direction AX after reflection, making an angle of reflection R1 equal to the angle of incidence I1. So, AX is the first reflected ray. 3. The second incident ray OB is reflected by the mirror at point B, and it goes in the direction BY after reflection, making an angle of reflection R2 equal to the angle of incidence I2. Thus, By is the second reflected ray. 4. The two reflected rays Ax and By are diverging rays going apart, which cannot meet in front of the mirror to form a real image. So we produce the reflected rays Ax and By backwards behind the mirror by dotted lines. On producing backwards, the reflected rays meet at point I behind the mirror. 5. When we look into the plane mirror from an angle, the reflected rays Ax and By enter our eye. The reflected rays appear to be coming from point I behind the mirror. So point I is the virtual image of object O. Characteristics of image formed by a plane mirror. 1. The image formed by a plane mirror is virtual or unreal. 2. The image formed by a plane mirror is behind the mirror. 3. The image formed in a plane mirror is the same distance behind the mirror as the object is in front of it. 4. The image formed in a plane mirror is of same size as the object. 5. The image formed by a plane mirror is erect. 6. The image in a plane mirror is laterally inverted.